Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the interesting topic that I just want to share with you. Generally, people would like to figure out what is the subject of spirituality is all about. The country in which we are born, India, is the storehouse of spirituality, known for more than 10,000 years. But many people are confused with the Western adulteration, and we lost the most invaluable kind of heritage, which is the subject of spirituality is all about. I thought I will just try to share with you some thoughts on this today with this anecdote told by Shankaracharya, who is called the Mahaperiyava, who lived more than 100 years. So with a very simple kind of an anecdote, he explained what is spirituality is all about. Many a times we generally think that spirituality is a subject which is meant for people who have retired and they are very old and they have nothing else to do. But in fact, spirituality is the science of life, I would say, which is when well understood, it makes a big difference to the quality of life. Let's try to appreciate what this subject of spirituality is all about with a small anecdote told by him. He took the example of the South Indian meal which they used to serve in a banana leaf, and then the various items which have been supplied are served in a particular sequence. He took that as an example to illustrate the concept of spirituality. So I would like to add a few more flavor to what he has said, little bit of the way in which I understood from the great masters. So he said that the banana leaf, when they are putting it, it's a very green leaf put in front of you before the meal is served. And he said that why this banana leaf represents is that it is green in color. And then we make an assumption when we were a child that life is going to be full of greens and then it's pleasantries all the time. So we make an assumption that the life is going to be all good and very happy and pleasant moments. So that is what he said the banana leaf is representing. That's our assumption basically. Then they sprinkle certain amount of water on the banana leaf, which symbolizes that they are trying to wake you up from the slumber that no, it is not full of green. So it has got its own roller coaster ups and downs in life. So hence don't make an assumption that it is going to be full of greens, and that is the symbolic way of representing sprinkling of water and then wiping the leaf. The next item they serve is the kheer, what you call in Hindi and Tamil they call it as a payasam. So the kheer is put as a sweet at the corner, or they place some kind of a sweet first before serving anything else. So he mentioned that the sweet symbolizes that you need to start everything with a sense of happiness. That means everything you should start with the pleasantries and the positive thinking. That's what the sweet represents. Then they keep a small piece of salt or pickle as the second item, which symbolizes that salt symbolizes the gratitude basically. We should have a sense of gratitude for everything. For example, we have come here without our consent. Somebody brought us here, and then the whole life is rolling by and all our physical aspects are functioning without our consent or even our understanding. The food is getting digested and we are able to breathe and so on and so forth. So trying to develop a sense of gratitude for everything is symbolized by the salt. When you have a sense of gratitude for everything, then you find that the whole life will become a more and more peaceful journey. Many a times we try to take everything granted, so we don't have a sense of kind of a gratitude for anything that has been provided to us. When we are healthy, we don't really have any gratitude, feeling that, yeah, good that today I am able to be healthy and so on and so forth. So that is what the salt symbolizes. When the salt is served, then they serve various vegetables. One of the vegetable is called avial. Avial means it is a mixture of many different vegetables. Anything that you are trying to mix with multiple things is called avial. So the avial symbolizes basically that the life is going to be a dichotomy, in the sense that everything is defined in the two pair of opposites. That means cold and hot, and rich and poor, and old and young, and then life and death, and so on and so forth. You will notice that everything in life is presented in the phenomena of dichotomy. So it's very important to understand that you cannot choose only one aspect of life. That means it comes as a package. So subsequently then they put a rice, for example. And rice is one of the most peculiar kind of discovery of human beings. Basically, rice is white in color and it doesn't have a taste of its own, and it mixes with any kind of spices so easily and almost instantly. And that becomes the base of the food, because if the rice is not there, the stomach doesn't get fulfilled. So that's what represents the soul in you, the divine essence in you. So it is white in color, that it is pure. It doesn't have any kind of quality of its own, and it doesn't participate in anything on its own, but it provides the substratum of life. When you say substratum, means there is something life essence in you, because of which you are able to see, you are able to hear, and you are able to move around, etc. So that is what you call it as a divine essence in you. That somebody can call it as a spirit, somebody can call it as God, and you can have any different names. Someone call it as a life essence, and so on and so forth. So the characteristics of the life essence is always explained in the form of a rice, which is white in color. It doesn't have any characteristics of its own. It doesn't have any its own taste or any other kind of attributes, what they call it. And then the moment you put any sambar in it, and immediately, instantly it tries to merge with that taste of sambar, and so on and so forth. So rice represents the life essence in you, because of which the whole life enrolls and engages with the rest of the activities. The moment they put the rice, then they put what is called sambar. In Tamil they call sambar as a korambu. Korambu means it is something, the literal meaning of the word korambu is confused. Confused state of human being is symbolized by the korambu, which is the sambar. You call it in the rest of India. A sambar is nothing but a kind of a spicy stuff which is trying to have certain kind of a vegetable put on it, that they call it in Tamil as than. What this really symbolizes in spirituality is that every one of us, when we are truly divine essence in us, but we started creating a sense of ego. Ego is nothing but a false sense of identity. We are this and we are unique, and then we need to compete with everything else, and I am better than somebody else, and so on and so forth. So the false sense of identity is a confused state of consciousness. Majority of the human problems are the result of the identity that we have created for ourselves. When we are truly divine and the essence in us, we started assuming that we are this and we are that, I am qualified, I am an engineer, and so on and so forth. So the sambar represents, the Korambu means a confused state of consciousness as a false identity one may have. So then later on, what they represent in the kind of a South Indian meal is, a rice is covered with the sambar, that means the pure essence of life, energy is confused with the consciousness of ego that is trying to color the soul. That is what actually explained as one of the beautiful analogy of how we are a confused state of consciousness really is creating trouble. The next aspect is the rasam, what they call it in Tamil. Rasam is the most liquid kind of less spicy kind of side dish, you may call it. That sambar is very thick and highly confused kind of item, and whereas the rasam starts flowing. The moment that they pour the rasam or the rice as the next item, the rasam starts flowing all over the place. That is a typical South Indian will try to, struggle to keep the rasam focused on the meal basically. So what does the rasam really mean? One is it is less thick than the sambar, and then it has got the flowing capability. That means it flows all over the place. So what it symbolizes is, Mehale, one of the greatest psychologists, brought this idea of flow. That means when the human beings are flowing without getting stuck with any of those negativity, they are able to accomplish many different things which is unimaginable. So rasam represents the idea of flow. That means when you are not stuck with any kind of negativity, then you start flowing in life. That's what spirituality says, that you should continue to be a connected person rather than getting stuck with anything. After the rasam is served, the next item that they are serving again is the buttermilk. What does the buttermilk really means? So when you are not in a confused state like sambar, the egoistic state basically, then you start flowing like rasam. That means you are more a flowing human being with the connectedness across everything. Then finally you arrive at something, a state of consciousness, a blissful state of consciousness, which is represented by the white color of the buttermilk basically. So what is the background of buttermilk? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says beautifully, buttermilk is the end state of a milk basically. If you look at the milk becoming, becomes a curd, when the curd becomes, when you extract the butter from the curd, then that becomes a buttermilk, and then it has got the ability to flow. It has doesn't have a taste of its own, and you cannot further subdivide the buttermilk into something else, because milk can be converted into curd and curd can be extracted butter. Milk, at the end state of the milk, is the buttermilk, which cannot be further divided by anything else. So that shows that when the person is transcending the ego and trying to discover that he is the pure soul in himself, the same consciousness that is there across everywhere, then he discovers a state that there is nothing further can be divided. The division comes basically due to the sense of dichotomy, and then our own false sense of understanding that we are that ego, the story that we built over the years of our accumulation of information. So that symbolizes the the final ending of the buttermilk rice at the end of it, and then after that they serve you various kind of sweets as well as savories in the banana leaf. They symbolize that when you have reached the state of consciousness, a blissful state of consciousness, beyond which then you don't distinguish between sweet and savory. That means you become an ultimate human being. The very purpose of our creation is all about. So I hope that this story and the anecdote describes the various state of spirituality in an essence, in the most humorous way. Mahaperiyava has explained this is one of the greatest souls that lived in the last century, and we are very proud that we lived during the same time he lived in this world. Thank you very much. I hope that this concept of spirituality gives you a little bit of understanding, and then you can deep dive into this subject in greater detail. Thanks for patient listening. Nice talking to you. God bless you.